Hello and welcome, everybody. It's time, once again, to talk sports with you and us here on the Sconny Scoreboard weekly Wisconsin sports podcast. My name is Jason Streibel. I am your host, along with the wonderful and beautiful Ben Hallett. How are you this evening?
Good, Jason. Thank you. How are you doing today, sir?
Oh, I'm doing splendid. I'm doing splendid because this is our first video version of the
Yeah,
podcast. We'll
it's
be see
crazy.
This will be up on YouTube. Whole new market to settle.
Mm-hmm.
Since we, conquered the audio part, let's do the video part now.
Yeah,
You know.
let's get with the times, man. And now we are.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That time being March the 19th, 2025. 25. Right on the cusp of a little March Madness. That's going to be
Yes.
a lot of March Madness.
We're in it right now because we got a little play-in action going. So
That's
yeah,
true. That's true.
we got a little taste. We got a taste of it, I guess.
Yeah, I always look at it's like those, not even the appetizer, but the hors d'oeuvre platter that gets passed around before everyone even sits down for dinner, right?
And it's
Like,
almost like a surprise too. You're like flipping through a channel, like, oh yeah, that's on. Like
mhm.
it's kind of like it falls in the background for me, but I obviously know what's happening. But there's some really good games that happen too. So yeah, we are right there.
Yes, yes. But before that, we've got a couple things we want to cover quick before we get to the March Madness.
The bracket.
We'll get this out of the way right away. The Bucks are not looking so great right now.
No, not at all.
Lost the last two games. They did get that vengeance win against the Pacers, which was nice, and they did take advantage of the LeBron-less Lakers, which was nice. And what was like, okay, after that Pacers loss, we talked about that last week. It was like, okay, beat the Lakers and get your revenge against the Pacers. They're ripe for these wins, and they got them.
Hmm.
And then the Thunder. Okay, you lose to the Thunder. That they're one of the best teams in the league. One of the best two teams in the league, right?
And a back-to-back too.
Right, but you lose by
Hmm.
double digits. Like you'd like to see them at home put up a little more of a fight than that, and then to not even break 100 against the Steph Curry-less Warriors.
Hmm.
Disappointing. I mean, Jimmy Butler is the buck killer, so it's just he's just doing what
Always.
he does, I guess. So I
Yep.
don't know how, like, it's sad to see it, but how much should we really worry? After they did get those two good wins, they did get a couple of not so great losses. Do you think this is something to worry about?
I think it is. I'm gonna go a little farther back. We're 2-5 in the last 7 games, so that's very concerning. I know we played some really good teams, but again, like we beat like you said, LeBron-less Lakers, but Luke had still had 45 points, and it was like a clinic. If I don't know if you watched any of it, but my God, it was ridiculous. He touched the ball, and he was just shooting it all over. He was getting some of the best defense I've ever seen, and it's going in. It's going in. I thought, oh my God, at the first, this could be like the Lucas show, and this is like his coming out because he really hadn't had a game, with no LeBron to really go off. But holy crap! So that kind of like threw me for a loop. They did win by 20. They did handle themselves by the end. Don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
that was a little scary to begin with. That no LeBron, because if LeBron even played that game, I don't think we would have won it. If Luka would have dropped 45, you know what I mean? Like it would have been a little different, but I think if those two playing, it would have been a lot tougher. It would not have been anything like it was, obviously. And then, yeah, like you said, that revenge game was great against the Pacers. But the Oklahoma City game, like you said, double digit loss, it kind of stings. last time we played them, we held them to 81 points. I think that's the least amount of points they had in a game all year. That defense was just stout, and I just wish that we had a little more of that defense that showed up in that game because it was lacking. Like Hartenstein had his, uh, not was it a career high or at least season high in points in that game. Um,
Have that pulled
Dort
up.
didn't play at all for the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that's their best defender. And they still, like you said, hold us under to 93 points. So I think it's a little concerning because, again, we don't have Bobby, which is going to hurt. I don't
Right.
know if you saw, we lost Jericho Sims for a month now, too.
That sucks.
Unfortunately, that's
That
huge. That's
really actually
huge.
sucks because
So
I
we're
know he
really
wasn't
small
playing. Sorry, he
now.
wasn't playing very good at the moment, but he was gonna be a
He's
guy to
getting
lean on later
better.
in the season because you wanted to develop him the rest of the year.
He was
Sorry.
getting better. He wasn't going to be that scorer, but he was a good defender. And yeah, it sucks that he's gone. So now we have to we're going to have to go small. Like we're going to play Kuzma at the five sometimes out there, which is scary to think.
Mm-hmm.
So, and like you said, then going to Golden State. Now we have this 5-game road trip. Start out with the Steph Curry-less Warriors, and you're thinking this should be a win. I sure thought so. Especially when the Warriors the night before had a back-to-back and they lost to Denver, and Denver didn't have Jokic or Murray. So I thought, but again, they had something to prove. We went in there thinking the greatest shooter of all time possibly is not playing, so we should be able to handle ourselves. And like you said, Jimmy Butler showed up. Draymond Green's defense was really good, and we just couldn't handle it. We couldn't get the ball in the bucket at all. It was hard to watch. I watched only probably much the first half, but again, I felt like right away that there was just a lot going wrong for the Bucks, and yeah, it's I think a little scary. I'm a little scared because again, those big men are gone, and if we're 2-5 without them, I don't see how we're gonna get better playing small ball.
Agreed. That's kind of like the size is kind of what makes up for their lack of defense. And
hmm
Kyle Kuzma's like long, but he's not big, right? He's not that guy. You can't just slide him down into the five and expect.
He's 6'9". He's not, like he's long, but he's 6'9". Like
Mm-hmm.
everyone he's going to be battling against when he's in the 5 spot is going to be just a lot bigger. So
Well, they do excuse me, the Bucks do have a rubber match against the Lakers. I don't know if
mhm.
it's actually it might be the third game or no. I think they only play twice. So
Yeah,
yeah, it'd be the rubber match against the Lakers. Try to get that win.
yeah, on this
LeBron
West
will
Coast
still be
tour.
out, so
Yep,
and that's gonna be what tomorrow night.
yep. Tomorrow night, yeah, they do a tour of California in the next 3 games or last game, and then these next two.
So like to see them get that win against the Lakers again, and just kind of be like, okay, we lost to a really good team that's playing strong and Jimmy Butler. Okay, it's the
hmm
regular season, but they got to be careful, man. They cannot afford to fall into that 6 spot because I just don't see them
No,
beating the Knicks in a 7-game series. I just doesn't. No way. Like, there's just no way. I mean, anything's possible, right? And like, if
sure,
full
sure.
strength, if Bobby Portis comes back and everything look good, hey, yeah, if they're playing like they can on paper, sure, they could beat the Knicks, but
Yeah,
they
and the
haven't
Knicks
all
right now are
year.
a little, on the downfall too. So what Knicks are we getting? But that's not, again, like you said, we don't want to play anyone who's in the 3 spot. We want to be in the 3 spot, if anything, or at least stay in this 4 spot to have some home field.
Yeah, that'd be ideal. Get that series against the Pacers at home, right?
Yeah.
So good luck to the Bucks. Get that dub against the Lakers tomorrow. That would be huge.
Yeah.
In other local pro sports news, Mecole Hardman.
Mm-hmm.
You might remember him from the Chiefs. I think he played for the Jets for a year. He got signed by the Packers today. So there's your veteran wide receiver, everybody. Just kidding. He's going to make league minimum. It's a 1-year contract. Like, I kind of was like, okay, sure. And then you were like I was like, he might not even make the roster, right? Like, and you just special teams, right? Right. He's that fast special.
There's another reason too that I thought of after we said that is Christian Watson's not going to be back.
Right.
You need speed. He's a perfect fly guy if you need him. You know what I mean? Like he can outrun people. He's gonna have to fill that role. So he has two significant roles next year. I think he can fill. And if he does it well for $1 million, I mean
right.
It's a steal.
Mm-hmm.
It just depends on who we get. I hope we get the 2019 Mecole Hardman, where he went to the Pro Bowl and just shined. I thought he was going to be a big name. So maybe he resurrects his career in Green Bay. I don't know, but we'll see. But like you said, not our number one, not our veteran, not our number one receiver. Still don't know who that is, but
I really hope they don't just like wait for the draft, right? I didn't hear of any of the receivers we talked about last week getting signed, but I also haven't checked.
I mean, they all got signed. I mean, like Cooper Kupp. You mean all those guys are talking? Like Amari Coopers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% that they got signed, but I know they didn't get signed by the Packers. So I'm assuming
that's for sure, right?
They probably got grabbed up.
Oh,
if the Mecole Hardmans are coming in now, in the play for teams.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp over to Seattle. I hadn't seen that.
Seattle's making himself a little nice offensive juggernaut. If Sam Darnold can produce like he did in Minnesota, and he has Cooper Kupp and Jigma and all kind and Walker the third as a running back. I mean, that's a pretty stacked offense. So Cooper went there in the division.
Yeah, right. Oof.
Yeah,
that's a burn. Stayed in the NFC. That kind of sucks, but what can you do? So I think it's a good pickup for the price. I mean, why not take a run at Mecole Hardman for $1 million? You need what he's best at. Whether he's good enough to make the roster doing it, we'll find out. But what his strengths are needs for the Packers.
For sure.
It's a good if not just kick the tires on it, right?
Yep, it was $1 million.
So there's some local sports news for the pros. Let's just get to the good stuff, right?
Yeah.
I think it's just time. It's Wednesday night. It's March. It's the Ides. Everybody knows what that means. It's the NCAA March Madness Tournament, and we are doing a bracket. How about that? We're going to fill out a bracket. So make sure YouTube, you go down to the comments, let us know who you think is going to win the championship. And we'll let you know who between the two of us will decide who wins the championship. And maybe we could have people go and make their own brackets if they want.
Yeah, if you're interested, let us know on YouTube or whatever, and we can let you join. I mean, why not?
Oh, we could leave the password down in the description.
Could do that too, yeah.
So you can come fill out a bracket. All right, so let's start where this starts. In the South. Let's just go. Yep. Let's just go right down to it. Auburn, Alabama State.
Hey, sorry. Real quick, if you don't mind, can we just backtrack just a little bit to talk about maybe the Big Ten tournament, because I thought Wisconsin had a hell of a review. And that was just a really great thing to see. So I really want to talk about it because I didn't know really what was going to happen, honestly, if they could have made a run or not. And wow, it was awesome.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, that win, and getting to that UCLA game was one thing, and it was going to be interesting because they played UCLA tight that first game, but their length just kind of was a little too much. So to see the Badgers get over that and get to Michigan State was awesome. Or sorry,
I
Michigan
mean,
was awesome.
pound UCLA too.
Yeah,
Like pound them. Yeah, to get to meet Michigan State how the way they did was just great. I mean, a little redemption from the week before, going over to Michigan State and losing. So yeah, it was great to have the redemption. That to win by 3, had that clean block at the end that people thought was a
hmm
foul that Tanjay did not commit, and then yeah, the Michigan State was just it was what it was, but I was still couldn't believe how far they got and how amazing they looked. Like, good God, they have a
yeah.
good chance in this tournament that we'll get to. So,
And it wasn't one of those things where uh, it was like, oh, well, Michigan State lost early and they only had to play Oregon to get through. So it wasn't,
hmm
no, they played the big boys and they got past
the
like
gauntlet.
all but one of them, right? So,
hmm
yeah,
And it
that was
came down to the
awesome.
end. So,
I think, and that's kind of what clinched that 3 seed for them, too.
for sure.
But we'll get to the seeds and everything right now, I think, right?
Yep, it's time now.
It's
Yes.
time. I'm just so excited. I just wanted I
hmm
skipped right over the Big Ten tournament. I just wanted to get to
I
it.
thought I forgot about it too, but I was like, wait a minute, there was that.
Yep.
We got to talk about that run. So, yes, let's get to it.
All right,
The
let's
big,
start.
the big show.
Yes, the big show as it used to be called
Yeah.
once upon a time. We're
hmm
looking at I'll just bring this over here. We're looking at Auburn, Alabama State, that number 116 matchup. I mean, can we just chalk these? I don't see any of the ones or twos losing early. Do you have any? Uh,
Ones or twos? I don't have anything. Ones or twos wise, I don't think. I mean, for sure not ones. I'm just looking through my twos again. No, no, no. Yep,
yeah.
you can push everybody through on 1 and 2 for sure.
Okay.
So just real quick, Auburn, Duke. Uh, oh wait, where the hell am I in here? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I pushed through Houston and Florida. So just so everyone knows.
Yeah, get those ones and twos in there. I mean, there's more
And then you're
parity than ever, but I don't think like that, right? It's not like that kind
no,
of
I don't feel
parity.
there is we're gonna get a lot of a lot of close games or anything.
Yeah. So
Same with your number two, St. John, Tennessee, and then Alabama and Michigan State. So yep, I think they're all gonna easily win their games.
all right. So next we've got in the South 8-9 matchup Louisville Creighton.
Mm-hmm.
I'm I'm feeling the Big East. I always do. I'm kind of one of those conference guys. When they have these kind of close matchups, I always stick with the conferences because I think they have the better lead up. The stronger
Sure.
opposition in the regular season. They're just better teams. It doesn't always work because nothing does in this madness, but that's my thing. So I'm gonna go Creighton on this one. How you feeling?
I'm going Creighton as well on this one.
All right.
Um, it's kind of interesting. I was looking at this matchup because Ryan Kalbrenner on Crichton's been there, I feel like, for 34, 35 years or something. Always been there. Great player. I just feel like he's been there forever. No knocking
Mm-hmm.
him or anything, but I didn't realize that Louisville, so Chucky Hepburn, who was a pretty good Badger player last year, he plays
Mm-hmm.
for Louisville right now. That's where he transferred, so he's their leading scorer. So, but yeah, I went with Creighton on that one. So a small little upset there in the South.
Right. All right. Michigan versus UC San Diego in the
hmm
5-12. You feeling a 5-12 upset
I'm
here?
feeling a
Or...
12 beating a 5, honestly. I feel like
Really?
I do. I honestly feel that Michigan has won their last game for the year. I feel like that tournament took it out of him, and I feel like the San Diego can do it. Honestly, I know they don't play in a really strong conference, but 30-4 is something, and I feel like they can win one more game to push it over. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it can. And it's kind of funny because like they're playing in Denver, and I feel like that's like kind of in between Michigan and California. So it's not like a. I know Michigan's gonna travel, but it's kind of funny that you know it's close to both of them, both schools. So maybe they'll travel well too. It's a big game. I'm going to San Diego.
All right. You know what? Yeah, you know what? I didn't take a lot of upsets this year. I just didn't have the stomach for some of these. I
Sure.
think there's one bracket my own, or there's one region my only upset is a 9 over an 8. It just
Is
didn't.
it
I
this
didn't.
one?
No, I think it's
Oh, okay.
the Duke region.
Oh, gotcha.
We'll get to, yeah,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's just me being a coward mostly. So we'll go UC San Diego. I like that. 4-13. Texas A&M versus Yale.
Yeah, I
I like
don't have that Ivy League school or probably any League school. No, they're probably the only one. That Ivy League school is not winning against that SEC school. I feel like Texas A&M is just gonna not roll them, but it's not gonna be as close as they're. It's a 4-13. I feel it's a legitimate 4-13 matchup.
I I just picked Yale on this one because
All right.
I actually got to this one later as I was filling it out, and I was like, I didn't pick a lot of upsets, and I'm like Yale. I just feel it in my gut, so I went with that one. I'll pick Texas A&M on this one for this bracket. I'll go with
Yeah, this is
I'll go
just for
more
the
sensible for
podcast.
this because my brackets tend to be a little chaotic, but it
Yeah,
tends to help, because everything is chaos.
yeah.
6-11, Ole Miss, North Carolina. How are you
I
feeling on that?
I mean, people had a lot of knock on North Carolina shouldn't be in. They didn't obviously have a great season. Don't get me wrong, but I look at it as
They look
North
like a
Carolina
real
can beat
team.
half the teams in this tournament, no question. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like if it was a head to head, they could. So do I think they could beat Ole Miss? Yes, definitely. I think they could. I feel
Hmm.
like they put a show against San Diego State last night and said, "You didn't want us in here. Well, we're going to beat the crap out of this team in front of everybody." And I think it's going to carry over. How far? I don't know, but I think they're going to beat Ole Miss.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I'm actually high on them for at least a couple wins this weekend or, this month.
Mhm.
Iowa State, Lipscomb in the
Yeah,
314.
yeah. I mean, I think the Cyclones have been rolling all year. I think they're going to keep going. Lipscomb, obviously, 25-9, great story. But again, you played in the conference I can't even name. I don't even know where they're in, honestly. But I think the Cyclones are just going to beat them, honestly.
Yeah, I recall Iowa State didn't look good in their last game, but they're
True.
still they're still Iowa State. I don't
They're
think
a
they're going
three
to go
seed for a
all too
reason.
far, but they're going to beat Lipscomb. Yeah.
Yeah, that game's in Milwaukee, so Wisconsin reference. It's at Pfizer Forum, so FYI.
Yeah, Iowa State plays in Milwaukee often. I remember the last time we had games up in Milwaukee, I
Hmm.
think a handful of years ago. I was up here. I watched them play.
Oh yeah,
Or
awesome. I remember
I
you guys
guess from
going
where we.
actually.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Got a couple
Hmm.
cool stories from that. 7-10, Marquette getting in on the seventh seed. I think we even said
Yeah.
like a month ago. It's like they're looking more like a seven seed than they did earlier in the year, And here we are playing New Mexico, who's always kind of sneaky good. Like you always, oh, New Mexico, whatever. It's like, no, they make the tournament quite a bit.
Yeah, the
And
Lobos for sure. They're always in it,
yeah,
I feel
they're
like.
they're like one of those stronger, like not even mid major. They're just like a decent squad. They got a
Mhm.
good program down there. I still think Marquette wins. How do I put this? Like, I'm not confident, but if Marquette plays like they're supposed to, they should win this game. And we've seen
Mhm.
them play better than a 7 seed, you know? So they could do some damage this weekend, but they got to figure it out. You know, they got to figure out how to beat good teams. They
Yes.
they haven't shown they can do that. So can they? I think they'll win against New Mexico going forward. You know, we'll get to that, but yeah, if they can go out and manhandle New Mexico, that'd be scary for whoever they get to play on Saturday, or it'd be actually Sunday,
Yeah.
assuming they beat
Sad.
New
Yep.
Mexico.
If they can beat them, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have
Um.
the yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah,
sorry. Yeah.
I was just gonna say Marquette. Yeah, I feel like they're gonna win that game too. But yeah, it's gonna be tough. This if they can. I hope. I don't think they'll get out of this weekend, honestly, because the next game will be tough. But
Hmm.
I feel like they can win at least this game. But just was disappointing the last couple weeks of the season, honestly.
Yeah, agreed. Then we got the two Michigan State playing 15 Bryant. That's a dub for Sparty
Just
there.
move them on.
Yep. Moving on to the West, we've got number one Florida taking on 16 Norfolk State. We've got that one chalked in.
Yep.
Then we go back to the Big East. We got number 8 UConn taking on number 9 Oklahoma. I like UConn quite a bit. I think they're going to go far this year. What do you think?
I have them winning this game. I don't have them really going any further than this, honestly. I feel like it's not the same team the last 2 years, obviously. I mean,
It's true.
obviously every year is not the same, but this just feels a lot different. Um, 10 losses is just really weird for this Connecticut team, but I feel like they'll beat Oklahoma no problem. But I feel like that's where it ends. So I pick them in this one, though, for sure.
Yeah. All right. 5-12. Colorado State at the 12 against Memphis at the 5.
I'm going with those, with Colorado Rams there, Colorado State Rams.
Yep, I like that
Uh,
one too.
I feel like they had a really strong conference tournament. Um, and again, Memphis doesn't play a lot of tough teams. Not that Colorado State does too, but I feel like having that little momentum going into this is going to help them have an upside for that 12-5.
I agree. I think. Hang on. Sorry, I just gotta do this here. Okay. Yep.
No,
Yeah. No,
no
I
worries.
think that's a decent squad, and like you said, they had a pretty good season, and it's the 5-12, man. These things happen. You got to pick these. You got to pull
Mm-hmm.
the trigger on these. This is one of those I think is good. 4-13. We've got Maryland at the 4 against Grand Canyon. It's Big Ten
Yeah, Grand
Maryland.
Canyon's been this like a lot, and I don't know if you know, like they've only been a school for like 5 years, and they've been in I think 3 times or something now. So, but
Oh,
Terrapins
yeah.
all day.
That's interesting about Grand Canyon, but yeah, like Maryland's, I think they're
It is like
strong.
I think the second year they were a school there in the tournament. How does that work? I
Wow.
don't know, but that's yeah. So, but yeah, Maryland.
Okay. Missouri 6 against 11 Drake.
I got the Drake.
I like that. I think I did. I don't remember what I picked on mine. I got to stop referencing that because it's, like I said, chaos.
Yeah, they're
I
30-3. Again, I feel like they can win one game, have one upset against an SEC team that's kind of in the middle of the pack there, Mizzou. So,
Yeah, I
I mean,
agree. They're like they're Yeah, SEC, but like, come on, SEC isn't the basketball conference. It's a damn good
No.
one. Don't get me wrong. Calm down,
Yeah.
everybody. SEC, just calm down. You're great. You're great and
Yes.
all. It's just you're not the Big Ten because the Big Ten
You're not
has
the
38
ACC.
teams and you're not the ACC. So um, you
Hmm.
got the let's see. So yeah, Drake in the upset. Number 3, Texas Tech. Number 14, UNC Wilmington. They're one of those teams that shows up a lot. Wilmington.
They do.
Uh, but they usually get crushed by somebody like Texas Tech. So I think we're going to go
Yeah.
Texas Tech on
Red
this one.
Raiders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kansas, Arkansas in the 7-10 got John Calipari.
Perry. Yeah. I mean, this is a tough one to pick because Kansas has not been that great this year.
Hmm.
I mean, a 7 seed Kansas, to me, if you're Kansas and you're a 7 seed, you should just ask to not be in the tournament because that's too low. You know what I mean? Like, so I do pick Kansas to win this game, honestly. It was hard to pick him though, because again, John Calipari has a very historic history with many schools and taken every single one of them to the tournament. So and won games and championships with some. So, but I'm going with Bill Self and the Jayhawks still rolling with this one.
I actually rather like the Hogs in this one. The Razorbacks, I think.
Well, we can go with the Hogs because again, I had a hard time with this one. Went back
Okay,
and forth.
yeah.
So if you're with the Hogs, we'll go with the Hogs.
Yeah, I just like Calipari to win this game
Yeah.
because he
And
wins.
I visited that campus when I was a kid many a time, so we'll go with the Razorbacks.
All right, yeah, he wins games
Nostalgia.
like this for some reason. So because he's John Calipari and he might be a snake, but I think he might also be like a damn good coach too.
Yeah, he doesn't have Kentucky boomers or boosters in his ears, like
Yeah.
screaming at him if he does any single thing wrong. So
Right?
way better fit in Arkansas.
Yeah. All right. Then we go to the 2:15 for St. John's Omaha. We got St. John's there.
Yeah, no question.
So that's the West. Moving on to the East, we got Duke, Mount St. Mary's in the 116. Chalk up Duke.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Number 8, Mississippi State versus number 9, Baylor. I don't know if there was ever an 8-9 matchup.
That
This
you
is
didn't
it.
care about ever. This is the one because
This
that's
is
what I
it.
felt like. I'm like, who cares? Like,
Yeah.
I picked Baylor because why not? It's so upset. That's the only reason why I don't really care about the Bulldogs or the Bears. But you had to pick someone.
You got to pick somebody to lose to Duke.
Yeah, exactly. And who is it? I don't give a shit. So.
We'll go Baylor. 5-12, Oregon Liberty. Funny because a lot of times Oregon's been on the other end of this, being a 12.
Yeah, they're
and
the
getting
12.
a dub. So
Yep.
here they are against Liberty. Are they going to get their just desserts or are they going to get their win? I think they get their win. What do you think?
I think they don't. I think Liberty pulls it out, honestly. I feel like I don't know. Again, Liberty's one of those teams I feel like are in all the time and they probably get smoked. But again, like I always remember Wisconsin, like we talked about this, Wisconsin, Oregon playing a lot of times in the tournament, and I felt like we were always the 5 and they're the 12. And sometimes we won and sometimes they won. I don't know. I have an upset on that one.
I think they even got a win over Wisconsin as an 11 over a 6 once too. Or
Something like that.
So yeah, so we'll take Liberty on that one. I like that.
Why not?
4-13 Arizona Akron.
I have the Wildcats in that one.
Yeah, I heard the Akron had a really good season, but so did Arizona.
They did.
So
I feel like the
not
speed
really,
and
but-
size is going to overcome the old Akron Zips.
it's still Arizona. They're a solid franchise or program.
Mm-hmm.
6-12 BYU against VCU. I like BYU. I think 6 was actually a little low for them. I think they're pretty decent this year. How do you have this shaken out?
I mean, VCU, I thought had a good run. I think they must have won their tournament as well, and they've
Colonial,
obviously been
yeah.
around. the tournament the last 10 years or whatever here and there. But yeah, probably the Cougars are gonna pull that win off.
All right, then we get to the feast. 3:14, Wisconsin, Montana. Obviously, I think
it's
we like
gonna
the
be a
Badgers.
offensive, explosion out of the Badgers. I feel like
Agreed.
they're gonna that tough loss to Michigan to not win that championship. They're gonna take it out of Montana.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Number 7, St. Mary's versus number 10, Vanderbilt. Checking in
I got
from
the
the
Gales.
SEC. Look at that.
I got the Gales.
Yeah, I
The
mean,
SEC team.
they're one of those teams that always shows up and likes to do damage. So
Hmm.
I think they can definitely beat Vanderbilt. Then we get our
For sure.
2:15 Alabama Robert Morris. I did hear chatter about Robert Morris, but I mean, come on, man.
Well, because they're from Horizon League, and we talk about the Phoenix, so that's kind of like we've actually had him in conversation a little bit this year. But yeah, would it be great? I would love to see the Robert Morris beat the Crimson Tide. That'd be just
Mhm.
great. Not a fan of the coach on Alabama. I think he's just Well, that's another day. But yeah,
Yeah, we'll
it's
see
gonna be
if
Alabama.
Badgers end up playing Bama. We can talk
Yeah,
about
then
that
maybe we can talk about that.
because that might happen next weekend.
Yeah.
Midwest. We've got Houston versus a 16 SIUE SUI South Indiana University of
Edwardsville.
Evansville. Oh, I almost had it. I was gonna say Evansville.
Oh, close.
Oh wow, that would have been awesome. Okay, but it's Houston.
Yes.
In the 116, going to the 8-9 Gonzaga versus Georgia.
I'm just going with
Historically,
history. Zags.
yeah.
I really can't. Yeah. The Georgia Bulldogs aren't going to win that game, I have a feeling.
No, they just feel like another one of those SEC teams. It's Vandy.
Yeah.
And
They're
Gonzaga
playing us
knows
in
how
the
to win games.
Superdome, on the football field. Sure.
Yeah,
Georgia would beat
yeah,
Gonzaga's non existent football team, but not the
yeah.
other way around for basketball. So,
No, Gonzaga knows how to win these games.
hmm
5-12, Clemson versus McNeese. I just don't see Clemson losing this. 5-12
I don't
is
either.
great. No, but it's sexy, but no, we're not
It'd be
doing
fun
that.
for McNeese to pull it off, McNeese State, but it's not going
No,
to happen. I
Clemson's
don't feel like.
decent. I thought 5 was low
Yeah.
for them. Um,
Way tougher schedule this year than McNeese.
yeah. Purdue versus High Point in the 4-13 matchup. I think we're taking Purdue here. I don't even know where High
Yeah,
Point is. I never heard of
that's
them.
exactly what I was going to say. The only thing I was going to say about this matchup is where's High Point? I have no idea. We got to look this up.
It
This
must
is.
be in Denver.
You'd think so. Where are you, High Point University? There we go. Ooh, North Carolina, High Point, North Carolina.
Oh, that's not that high up. I guess there's some mountains around
There's
there
mountains there, but
in the west of it. Yeah.
yeah, false
Uh,
advertising.
yeah. Purdue wins that game, right? I mean, North
Hmm.
Carolina basketball is cool, but Purdue's
Yeah,
gonna
they
win
already
that
got
game.
one in there, or a couple actually, other teams. So you're
Mhm.
lucky you're in there, High Point. Good for you though. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I've
that's
never heard of
great.
you, and you're in there. So
6-11, we've got Illinois versus either Texas or Xavier. Texas was winning at the time
they're
of
winning
this,
still by 7 right now.
but plenty of
9 minutes
time
in the second. So
halfway through the second half, so we'll see
hmm
on that. Uh, I personally think Texas or Xavier can beat Illinois, so I'm taking the upset. That's me.
yeah, I felt the same way. I was kind of going back and forth. I ultimately did pick Illinois, but again, if you're swaying that way, I'm going to sway to Texas or Xavier too, because that was another one where I was like, I mean, what Illinois is going to show up? And I feel like
Hmm
Texas is better than they are,
And yeah,
and
Illinois.
Xavier's tough.
like had that big win against Wisconsin earlier in the year, but after that they haven't done anything. So I don't. I think Xavier was just hot and
Hmm.
at the end of the year, and they always kind of do that kind of thing in the tournament. And then Texas again, like I think they had a better season than this 11 seed makes it look like. I think they could do some damage given the other teams in this section of the region, which
They're like North Carolina. They're in the
yeah,
same boat right now, I feel like.
yes.
And they're both 11s.
And with the other teams in their region, I think they can get like there's opportunities for either one of those teams. So yeah, that's your I guess like your big bet right there. Your
Hmm.
big take. My hot take on this tournament is Texas or Xavier could make it to next weekend. Either one of them could do it, no matter who wins tonight. Anyway, 3 seed, 14 seed, we've got Kentucky versus Troy. Pride of the Sun Belt, I believe.
Hmm.
That's a Kentucky win, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Kentucky's good.
Troy got to come to Milwaukee, for a nice little Milwaukee vacation, and are going to be sent home by the Wildcats,
Yeah,
unfortunately.
fly up from Alabama to be in Kentucky or be in Milwaukee for 3 days while it's snowing and sleeting outside. Have
Well, you're
fun,
welcome.
and then go fly back home.
Well, this, wait, this is happens when you win and do good? Yep.
Yeah, we won our conference. What's going on? 7-10 matchup. We've got UCLA, Utah State. I thought 7 was a little harsh for UCLA, just because what
I
they
think it's because they
lost in
got
the
spanked on Friday in
yeah.
that Big Ten tournament that knocked them down pretty low, and they're gonna kick the crap out of Utah State. I think they're
Yeah.
pissed. Talk
Hmm.
about a team that can get to possibly next weekend if they can beat the next teams we're gonna talk about. Wow, that's disrespectful. I think to the
I agree.
Bruins.
I agree. And then we've got Tennessee beating. It flipped up on me.
Yeah, Walford.
Wofford. Thank you.
Hmm.
That's the two chalking it up against 15. So that's the whole first round. That's Thursday and Friday. So going on to Saturday, Sunday. Swinging back around to the south, we've got the 1 Auburn taking on the 9 Creighton.
Hmm. I feel like Bruce keeps moving his team, the Auburn Tigers, along, and they're going to beat Creighton. That's when Creighton's NCAA tournament win right there. So
Yeah, Bruce Pearl is like arguably what the only reason Tennessee has a good basketball team now,
yeah, he
and
brought that team out of nothing.
I don't know offhand how it ended there, but now he's in Auburn, and that's gonna be if he keeps doing what he's doing, that's gonna be a perennially contending program there too. So yeah, Auburn gets
It
the
won't just
win.
be about Charles Barkley anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Let's see. The upsetting UC San Diego taking on the 4 seed Texas A&M. I think
I have the Texas A&M moving
yeah,
on that one, honestly.
Aggies, they're good. They're good. I think they're a little overrated, but not that kind of overrated. Next we've got a couple of low seeds, North Carolina versus Lipscomb. I think UCLA. I think UNC gets the win there. Right?
Yes,
I
I feel
mean,
the
we
same way.
talked about that
Yeah.
they were playing strong.
Yes.
Marquette, Michigan State. I think this is where the Eagles go home.
Unfortunately, you're right. I feel like Tom Izzo's team advances again to the Sweet 16 for the 49th time or whatever
Yeah.
it is
Yeah.
since he's been coaching.
Every year since, I don't know,
Mateen
the
Cleaves and Charlie Batch and all
since the
them.
French Revolution. That's the second round in the East. In the West, we got Florida, UConn. I like UConn. I think they're gonna, win a couple games here. But I think you like Florida, don't you?
Yeah, I have Florida just dominating that game, honestly.
Yeah, we'll go that way. We'll go with that. Because, yeah, I think you feel more strongly about that game than I do. I think you kind of
Yeah,
win, but like not as confidently as you think Florida is going to win,
sure,
and
yeah.
probably win more games.
Hmm.
I just Colorado State, Maryland. Do we? I don't think the Rams can take it against Maryland, but
No, I have the Terrapins winning that one.
yeah. Drake, Texas Tech.
Yeah, Red Raiders still, I think, advancing that one too.
I think this game would be close. Like Drake could win that game. Like they have a better chance of winning that game than like just because I think Texas Tech isn't quite as good as a three, and Drake take advantage of that. Arkansas St. John's. Here we have in just like, oh man, like all the headlines with that.
Hmm.
St. John's, Arkansas, Calipari. What are you feeling? I'm curious
I'm
to hear
feeling
what you
St.
have to say
John's.
about
I
it.
feel like it's the revitalization. Rick Pitino here. I feel like he's they're 2 season for a reason, and they're gonna keep going. So
Yeah, I like that. Calipari gets his win against Kansas, and that'd be fine and all, but St. John's is the real deal. Uh,
mhm.
okay, moving on to the East. We got Duke Baylor. I think we can pick Duke there.
Yeah,
Liberty versus Arizona.
I have the Wildcats still advancing.
Okay, I was gonna say like if you're gonna go 12, if you're gonna go Liberty, I would take it, but
I mean, I have no ties to Arizona, so we can roll with Liberty. I really don't care on
no,
that
no.
one.
I pick Arizona, but it's like
Okay,
I want to pick like if you'd given me a reason to pick
I
Liberty, I'd have
want to.
taken it.
Yeah.
Uh, BYU, Wisconsin.
I still have the Badgers rolling in that one.
Yeah,
Close, but
I think that's a losable game for the Badgers, but they should win it, right?
mhm.
Uh, and then we have Alabama taking on St. Mary's. The Gales maybe get a win against Alabama. Like they,
In my bracket, I have the Gales beating
yeah.
Alabama.
Let's take it. Let's take it. I love it. And then on to the Midwest, Houston Gonzaga.
I have the Cougars still rolling.
Okay,
I mean,
all
they're
right.
one seed because they are one seed. I feel
Yep,
like
they're
it's appropriate.
strong.
Mm-hmm.
I always forget the coach's name. Why? It's Calvin Sampson.
Oh yeah, Gibbs. Yeah,
Yeah.
the old
He's
Oklahoma
built a
Sooner
good.
coach forever is what I always think of. I'm like, who was the Oklahoma coach? That's the
Yeah.
Houston coach.
Um, Clemson, Purdue. A little ACC Big Ten action. I love it.
I got the Boilermakers rolling. I feel like
Yeah.
they're just a little bit better than the Tigers. Yeah.
Hmm. I mean, yeah, they probably, yeah. Yeah,
If
all
I'm going
right.
with history too, I'm going with the Boilermakers rolling the Sweet 16 instead of the Clemson Tigers. Honestly,
Yeah, I guess Matt Painter. I kind of
I
can't
just didn't
stand
watch
that
enough
guy, but
Clemson Tiger basketball to really know about them. But I just feel like I've watched enough Purdue that I know they're tough and keep
yeah,
going.
that's fair. All right. Then we've got Kentucky versus either Texas or Xavier.
I feel like the Wildcats can beat both those teams. Honestly,
Yeah.
I feel like they're gonna get to the Sweet 16.
All right. All right. We'll go with it. We'll go I'll lean like yeah, it's just one of us. So like yeah, or it's just one of us. It's just two of us. So like I'll
Yeah,
lean chalk unless it's like sexy, cuz
yeah.
that's what the Sconny Scoreboard's all about is sexy. All right. UCLA versus Tennessee. Can we
I
do an upset
have
this time?
yeah, we can.
All right. I like UCLA in this one. That
Holding that
size,
grudge
man.
still over.
Mm-hmm. Just like PO'd about the way that the conference tournament went because I think they're better than they performed in their one game in the tournament. So
Yeah, for
and
sure.
they'll be a couple days more rested, I guess. So
Hmm.
if that matters. In college basketball, these guys are all 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, swinging back around to the South for the Sweet 16, we got Auburn, Texas A&M.
Bruce Pearl, I'm still rolling with him.
Agreed. All right, this is such a matchup as old as time.
But the numbers are all jacked up.
UNC
211
versus Michigan State.
Number? Yep. I'm going with Tom Izzo, honestly.
Yeah.
I think this is where the Tar Heels it ends here.
Yeah, I agree. Mostly because I hate UNC.
I was waiting for that.
I gotta get it in there, man.
I can't believe I heard North Carolina out of your mouth, Tar Heel out of your mouth, UNC out of your mouth.
Yeah, I'm trying to be like more positive.
Usually it was just the other team you'd always refer to.
Yeah,
You didn't even say it, so
I'm just trying to like
man.
remember if I don't have anything nice to say, right? Don't say anything.
Don't say it all until you have to.
We'll see how long that lasts. Florida, Maryland in the West.
I still have the Gators rolling, honestly.
Yep.
Their offense is too tough.
Yeah, I'll take that. Then we've got St. John's, Texas Tech.
I'm still going with St. John's in that one.
All right. Looks a lot of chalk in the West.
Unfortunately, there's a lot of chalk.
Well, there's always at least one region that like goes chalk, basically, you know, with a couple upsets on the first 2 days, but don't mean anything.
Yeah.
In the East, we go in Duke, Arizona.
Duke.
Yeah, always Duke. And then Wisconsin, St. Mary's.
I got the Badgers actually rolling. I think they're going to make it.
I like it. I think when I saw that region, I'm like, that region is really favorable for them.
The teams you have to play is.
Alabama, and even if Alabama gets through St. Mary's, like I think Wisconsin's can beat Alabama more times than not.
Yeah, for sure.
And then in the
Agreed.
Midwest, we go Houston, Purdue.
Yeah, I'm going with the Cougars, honestly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then we've got Kentucky, UCLA. I think Wildcats probably. I mean,
yeah,
I'll stop my UCLA
it was a good run,
there.
but I have to go with the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're not like your granddaddy's Wildcats, but they're still really good.
They're still the Wildcats.
Yeah. And then go Elite Eight. Auburn, Michigan State. Going the fighting Tom Izzos.
I'm gonna go. I mean, I don't know. Is this? Yeah, Izzo's getting old. I'm gonna go with Michigan State.
Yeah, all right.
You know what? He's not enough time here to win. He's got to win now. So he's losing out.
Florida, St. John's in the West.
I got Florida winning that one, honestly. Again, I just think they're bigger and stronger than St. John's. St. John's really good, and again, kudos to the season they had, but I don't have them winning that.
All right, fair enough. Duke, Wisconsin. I actually have this on my bracket too. But yes, I also have Duke winning that game because it's Duke. Midwest.
That's Cooper Flag at that point. Like, if for some reason he's not playing for Duke and the Badgers are playing them, let's go Badgers. But he'll probably be. He'll be in there.
He'll be in. Yeah. They did lose. I always forget his name. That other guy. They did have a big injury.
I can't remember his name either. But I know you're talking about.
They're still Duke. You know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Midwest, we got Houston, Kentucky.
Houston and Kentucky. Oof.
I like Houston.
I'm going to put Houston in there too. Go the Cougars advance.
All right. And then the final four, as per Sconny Scoreboard, which means it's going to happen. We've got Michigan State, Florida. I
I
like
mean,
Tom Izzo.
for the sake of this, we'll go Tom Izzo.
All right. And then we've got Duke Houston. I think we take Duke.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then just to spare you, we will take Michigan State. Is that better than
I don't
Duke?
know. I mean, I hate both of them probably equally over the years, honestly, because Izzo's been more of a thorn on my side than Duke has, honestly. But yeah, well, it'll be a 25-year anniversary if Izzo wins this year, so let's give him a quarter century
All right. And hopefully then he
championship.
retires
And then he's like,
off
I
into
can't,
the
I can't
sunset.
speak anymore because I've been yelling for so long that I'm retiring. Like, hopefully, we'll see. But yeah, we'll
What's
say the
our
Sparties win.
all right. And what's the total points we got to put that in? Like 150?
Yeah, like maybe 152. We'll say. How about that?
152. I like it. All right.
77-75 win Michigan right at the end. Michigan State.
All righty. As much as that hurt me to not pick Duke to win, we have done it.
I didn't have to convince anything. I just sat back and he said it. I was so surprised. I thought for sure if we're gonna have any arguments out of any of this, it was gonna be that last game because I know Duke was gonna be in the final. But no, it worked out
I
well.
just didn't want to like make the shows pick Duke. It was for parity's sake, right?
Sure. If we brought in one more person, we could have played that game. But nope, it's just two of us. I appreciate you going against Duke. I promise I won't let them know what happened. We'll block all Duke people from this podcast, at least the last 10 minutes of it.
All right. So
we got our champion.
Yes. The Spartans as the Sconny Scoreboard champion. So that's the bracket. If you out in podcast land or if you out in YouTube land would like to join our public Sconny Scoreboard Bracket Challenge, you can find us on ESPN's Tournament Challenge. The group is called Sconny Scoreboard Bracket Challenge, appropriately. And the password is Bro Forever. BRO Forever.
And why would it be that, Jason?
Oh, that's right, because you can go to broforever.com and get your Sconny Scoreboard merchandise with the logo that's up in the corner there. You can get coffee mugs and t-shirts and hats and sweaters all over.
I pointed all four corners.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Perfect. All right, good.
So, and then if you want to get a hold of us, you can email us, ssb@broforever.com, broforever.com. Or you could just leave us a comment,
on YouTube, for sure.
The YouTube comments. Let us know what you think, who you picked to win the championship. And even
or that brand new Facebook page, too.
Yes, sir. We got that Facebook page up, Sconny Scoreboard, Sconny with a Y. I'm sure you know that, though, because it's in the corner right there.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, we've got all the sports, all of it. It's all right there. We did it. We did it, Ben.
Yep. If you wanted your college basketball fix, it is right now.
Yes.
You got 1 month to enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Next thing you know, it'll be April, and it won't be madness anymore. It'll just be Wisconsin spring, which is just late winter.
Yes.
Yeah, now I'm sad. So, make sure you catch all that basketball this weekend. It's going to be great. Catch a Bucks game in the middle there if you like. They're playing the Lakers tomorrow night. Catch that one. Hopefully get a dub against the LeBron-less Lakers.
And Sacramento on Saturday.
Yes, sir. Get a dub there, too. Get the train back on the wheel. You know what I mean. Get it together. Yeah. So with that, with all the sports, thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in or clicking on us. Make sure
Thank
you
you.
like the video if you like it. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Thank you for tuning in. We love you very much. Have a good night.
Remember to go down and like our page if you like it. Subscribe to us, and like I said, like Jason said, have a great night. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.